It is September 16th, 2018. This is the Wrestling Inc. podcast. And if I sound just a little worn out, Hell in a Cell just finished. This was a long pay-per-view.
Yeah, especially if you stick through the kickoff show, right? And that's that extra hour where nothing really happens, but it adds a lot of time to your day.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was a great pay-per-view right up until the very end.
Yeah, I thought it was really good until that finish was just flat. You know, they did a draw. I mean, it was Lesnar coming back was cool. That was a cool surprise. I mean, it was leaked earlier today that he was backstage, but it was still awesome. The crowd popped big, but then just to end it with no finish, it just seemed like they booked themselves into a corner and had no idea what to do. So the finish sucked, but other than that, I like the rest of the show.
Yeah, had it ended with a definitive winner, I think it would have been better. I hate these non-finishes. I really would have liked it to be Braun Strowman. I thought Lesnar was going to give some cover for that, so Roman still looked strong. There was a reason why Strowman won. I could deal with that, but
yeah, I don't agree with that. I think it's way too soon for Reigns to be losing the title. I don't think you want to play hot potato with your world title belt. So I think they should have probably just had Lesnar throw Reigns get up and cover Strowman after the beating, and he gets the win, but it was because Lesnar interfered, so you can still keep it going, and then you don't have that crappy finish. But there you go.
Yep, it was what it was. It was so long. Every fight was a knockdown drag out. I feel like this was like, and I mean this in a good way, even though it might sound not. I feel like this was like a Springsteen concert. Like, had I known going in, like I couldn't have gone to this live. Like, I love Bruce Springsteen. I love many of his songs. I cannot go see him in concert because I cannot deal with a 4-hour show.
Yeah.
I need peaks and valleys. And this was good, but it just kind of pummeled me. And then at the end, just pulled the rug out from under me.
Yeah. It, we talk about match placement all the time. And if, again, they would have finished with the AJ Samoa Joe match, I think it would have been a lot better of a finish.
Great ending. Loved the ending of that match.
Oh.
There were a lot of good endings tonight. I thought.
Yeah. There was only one bad. I thought the Rousey match was bad, but other than that, I thought everything else on the show was good. Yeah.
The Ronda thing, and we'll get to that. So it's me and Raj tonight. Matt can't be here. He has stuff going on.
A truck issue. So they're having to fix his tire.
Understood. But there's a lot to talk about.
There's a lot.
There's a whole lot. And starting with the pre-show. New Day versus Rusev Day. Did this go the way you thought it was going to go, Raj?
Yeah, I figured New Day would retain. Again, I think it's too soon to take the title off of them. I don't know. They're just not doing anything with Rusev Day of consequence. I feel like they could be doing a lot more with those guys, but they're not. I mean, that's 2 pre-shows in a row for Rusev, right?
When especially because they keep seeming to tease there's dissent, they might be breaking up. No, they're back together and everything's great, and now they're going to go for it. And pick a side, pick a trajectory.
I mean, I think they're still going with the breakup, at some point. I think they teased it tonight, too, when Aiden tagged Rusev, or he did something where he caused Rusev to hesitate when he was on the top, and then Rusev missed his move. So, I'm fine with the slow breakups. I don't think it has to be sudden, but I just think they could be doing a lot more with these guys.
Yeah. Man. I thought this match was really good, and to set the precedent, this was a long match on the pre-show. This was the only match on the pre-show. I thought it was very good, but yeah, I want to see Rusev Day get it. Like, I feel like New Day being the champs they don't need it. They're just as good without the titles.
Yeah, that's why I thought they should have had it be the bar here. And if they're looking for someone for the New Day to just beat, and then you build to Rusev Day and, do that, down the road, maybe Survivor Series.
Yeah, I could see it.
But it doesn't look like they're going that way now. I mean, it was pretty clean win for New Day.
Yeah, and Kofi won with Trouble in Paradise after Aiden tried the Accolade.
Yeah,
just a little different. little bit of a thing. Opened up the show, Hell in a Cell match, Jeff Hardy versus Randy Orton. This really just set the tone for what was going to come tonight with these long matches, very intense.
Disgusting.
Something about the ear thing, man. Something about that ear thing.
Like that was just so sick. Orton took a screwdriver and put it in that hole that Hardy has and twisted it around. It was just so gross. It was a cool match. I mean, it was cool. It was all sorts of violence. Like it was super violent, but it was cool if you like that stuff. And I'm a fan of it.
Does anyone like that stuff? Are there like videos online? Like some people have a thing for watching like people pop pimples. Is there a thing for like just like stretching out earlobes? Is that some weird? Is there a subreddit for that? Is that some fetish?
You don't forget it though, right?
Yeah. Like, do you wonder somewhere out there's like, oh yeah, twist that earlobe. He's talking in that voice.
I'm surprised Hardy let him do that much to his ear because, good God, that looked just grotesque.
I wonder if Hardy is planning to get the surgery to bring it back, maybe, because for him just to let him go all willy nilly with it,
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. People get that surgery. I didn't know that was a thing till a couple months ago because I was wondering what happens when you get those loose, flappy earlobes. Ooh. Yeah. There's a way to get them reduced. But that was something, the spot with the ladder, the support beams on the ladder, when he put him through that, the support, the hinge.
Oh, yeah.
That looked painful as hell.
You mean the finish?
No, not the finish. Okay. When Jeff Hardy inverted the ladder and then got put through it.
Gotcha.
So he went through the metal bars.
Oh, yeah. This match, I mean, it was a cool match. I think it was the best Randy Orton match I've seen in a long time. And you know what? Kind of same for Jeff Hardy. He hasn't really been on fire since he came back from his injury. I mean, he's a superstar, but his matches haven't really been that great. So I thought this was it's a really good match. It was a really, really, really good opener, really strong opener.
Except I thought the end. And that's why I know on Twitter, I mean, yes, the bad acting from the ref with Hardy being out in the EMT, but I thought he was going to get attacked in the cart. It felt very abrupt, that spot that Jeff missed it. Randy pinned him, and that was the end.
Well, I think if they would have done that, well, I don't think Orton should have attacked him because I think this is the blow off. Like this is the end of the feud. So if he attacks him, that means it's going to keep going. Plus, if he attacked him, then it makes it, kind of what you said, and it makes it seem not legit. And this looked a lot more realistic the way they did it.
It looked very realistic. I would have liked Shinsuke to come out and attack him.
But then again, still same thing.
Well, I don't know.
Makes it look not realistic.
Who else do we got? Shelton Benjamin could have come out and attacked him.
Plus, I don't think Nakamura should be facing Hardy again. I feel like that's done.
Yeah.
It's weird. No, did they even mention Nakamura at all tonight? Like the U.S. title was not even mentioned.
Yeah, I don't think they did.
Yeah.
Good match though. Hell of a way to start the show. Hell in a Cell match. Yeah.
Yeah, and the finish, Hardy climbed to so he was in the cage and he climbed to the roof. He didn't go out of the cage, but he was hanging on from the roof. He did this spot in TNA. I think it was on AJ Styles. But and then he's swinging from the top of the cage. He had Orton on a table and then jumped down, and Orton moved like it felt like 2 minutes before Hardy did the jump and then crashed through the table.
Yeah. Oh man, something. After that, Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's title. Saw a good recap of their feud, and I thought the match was solid, but I love that ending sequence, and I absolutely love that Becky Lynch won and is the new SmackDown Women's Champion.
Yeah. I thought the match was okay. There was a lot of times with Becky's offense, it looks like she's I don't know if it's slowing down before she connects, but it doesn't look it looks like she's being safe. Like she's really trying not to hurt the other person and make some of the punches and stuff look bad. But I thought the match itself was pretty good. And I was kind of surprised with the ending. I didn't think they were going to give it to Becky this quick, but I think it's the right move. She is the hottest. So many people are complaining about how WWE has booked her heel turn. And yes, she is more popular and Charlotte's more booed. But she is the hottest that she's been since she's been with the company. And she's the hottest she's ever been. So it's it's done her well, and now she's got the women's title, and good for her.
Yeah, there was an audible "holy shit." I yelled it out when Becky won.
I was surprised.
Very surprised.
I thought this was going to have a DQ or something. So.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, or Ric Flair was going to come out, or and somehow help Charlotte win. They always find some way, especially with Becky and Charlotte. They found many different creative ways to keep her from winning and beating Charlotte.
Yeah, I just thought this early in the show, I thought they were just going to do a crap finish, like Becky just keeps punching Charlotte and won't stop, and so she gets DQ'd, something like that.
I thought they were going for that when she was by the rope. I forget the submission hold she had Charlotte in, but yeah, they made it to the 4 count and then broke. I thought maybe that could be it. But no, this was cool, especially because they've got the match already in Australia set up. People have been speculating they're going to face each other at Evolution. I don't think this is anywhere near over between the two of them.
Definitely not.
So speaking of hot potato, I could see this being a modest title reign length.
Yeah, we'll see. It should be, as long as she's hot. Why mess with it? We talk about striking when the iron's hot, and I feel like they did it here. Becky's the hottest she's been, and it was the right time. So, kudos to them. Yeah,
seriously, for a change, it's kind of nice to see.
And so after the match,
Charlotte went for the handshake, and Becky said no. Showed her the title. You're not getting this back anytime soon.
And said, like you're not going to take my moment, or something to that effect. So I thought that was great as well. Thought this whole thing was well done.
I want to take a moment to thank the sponsor of this episode. So, Matt Morgan, known as the Blueprint, known as the DNA of TNA. He's also got a title, the Commissioner of Longwood. You might think the voters gave him that title, but oh no. He earned that title from the sponsor of tonight's episode, which is BlueChew. BlueChew.com. Blue like the color blue. Guys, we all remember the days when we were always good to go. When we were just ready at the drop of a hat. Well, those days are in the past. Matt Morgan turned 42 last week. Raj, you're 42, almost 43.
Yeah.
I'm 42 years old. Oh my God. If I could go back to my high school self, I would say cherish these moments. But alas, we're old now, and it's just not working the way it used to. BlueChew will give you that extra performance and extra confidence in bed. They bring you the first chewable with the same FDA-approved active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, so you know that they work. This is none of that herbal crap of, it's like Viagra. No. Pharmaceutical-grade boner pills. That's what BlueChew is giving you. And you can take them anytime, day or night, even on a full stomach. And since they're chewable, here is the best part. They work up to twice as fast as a pill, so you can be ready whenever an opportunity arises. I've told this story before, back in the day when I was on medication. Things weren't working so well with the Schwanz. They prescribed something for me, and I was like, what? I have to know an hour or two before I want to, get down? No bueno. BlueChew, you can be impromptu. You could just start things off, chew one, and, 15, 20 minutes later, go time. BlueChew is prescribed online, and it ships straight to your door in a discreet package, so no in-person's doctor visit, no waiting in the pharmacy, and best of all, no more awkwardness. But let's have a little awkward moment. Raj, have you gotten your BlueChew sample yet?
I have, and the stuff works. Even if everything works, I've been blessed. So, but yeah, it enhances, it makes you a freak in the bed.
And somebody asked,
ludicrous.
Yes, much like ludicrous, and that's really what we should all aspire to in our lives. Someone in the chat asked, and yes, BlueChew will give your boner a boner. Seriously, if you're having any problems with function, by all means, BlueChew will help you out. If you are already functioning well, let me tell you something. As you get older, you kind of forget what you have because you're not at 100%. The blood, the oxygen does not flow like it used to. BlueChew is going to remind you how much you've got going on down there. Trust me on this. And because they're made in the USA, prepared and shipped direct, they're actually cheaper than going to a pharmacy. And you can try it for free because we've got a special deal for our listeners. Visit BlueChew.com. Get your first shipment free when you use our special promo code INC. Just pay $5 shipping. Again, that's BLUE Chew.com. Promo code INC to try it free. They're the better, cheaper, faster choice. Don't make me keep telling you and giving you details of how great it works because it's fantastic. Matt Morgan next time is going to have a report about, his BlueChew experience. You heard him before. His wife said, hey.
Do you think the truck is an excuse and you taking a BlueChew and it's like, can't do it. Can't go on the podcast tonight.
It's possible,
gotta take care of business.
It is possible. And, here's the other thing that I think about, Raj. You've got a lot going on in your life. You run Wrestling Inc., you run your businesses. I've got a lot going on. Think about all the times your thoughts are preoccupied with wrestling. Maybe your partner, wants a little intimacy, and you're like, nah, I'm thinking about, is Roman overpushed, or does he really deserve it this much? Take BlueChew. You don't have to be in the mood. It's going to get you in the mood.
It'll put you there quick.
Absolutely. BlueChew.com, promo code INC, try it free, and we thank them for sponsoring the Wrestling Inc. podcast. Oh, man. So
we got to talk about the red cage. We haven't mentioned the red cage yet.
Yes, that's right. It was different this year.
It was. They painted it red. Pretty much the same cage, just red.
Yeah, it was okay.
Did it remind you of Twizzlers?
Everything reminds me of Twizzlers. I don't know, we're a Red Vines family, but still, I get your point. Yeah, it was different. It was actually easier to see through than some of the cages in the past.
The only problem I had, I didn't mind the red cage, but they had so much red. The stage was red, the lighting, the crowd was red. It was just, it's just too much red. I found it kind of distracting.
All red everything.
All red everything. They should have had Eva Marie, referee. Had more red.
I gotta be honest. If Eva Marie had been a surprise return during the Alexa Ronda match, I would have popped for that.
Would you?
Yeah, because it would just be like, oh, you're just really effing with us now.
Yeah.
And then they would have announced Eva Marie versus Ronda for Evolution or something like that.
Yeah, versus Nikki Bella.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, Eva Marie's been gone long enough. I think she would actually, get somewhat of a welcome return.
Yeah, people pointing out that hell is red. Some people have been. I'm sure there's some other colors down there. Otherwise, if it was just red, it'd be hard to see.
Yeah, it was. It worked for what it was. Okay, so I know I've said this before. Do you think Seth and Dean versus Drew and Dolph was almost too long in that tag team title match?
Yeah. I didn't find it distractingly too long.
No, I thought it was very good. There was a lot of good back and forth, but the fact that we're going to come out later, I don't know. I thought that there were some really good spots. It was very competitive, but I feel like they painted themselves into a corner with these guys. I mean, we talked about this before with Seth. Seth can't. What's the shortest match Seth Rollins has had in the last year?
He doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't do short matches anymore.
Yeah, and now Drew and Dolph are in that category, and Dean's kind of gone back and forth, but he's mostly in that category.
Yeah, I mean that's what pay-per-views are supposed to be, though. They're supposed to be build these, and that's the problem I have with Raw now with so many long matches. Usually, it's supposed to be you have the storylines. The TV shows are built to the storyline, to build the storylines that go to the pay-per-view, and then you have your long matches at the pay-per-view. So yeah, I mean that's kind of how it's always been. This is one of the more important matches on the show, so I didn't have a problem with how much time it got.
Yeah, there was no short match on this show. There was no
and there should have been. Rousey should have been short.
Yes,
we'll get
talk
to
about that. So Drew and Dolph retained, and they did it in an interesting way where Rollins got hit with the Claymore kick when he was doing a move on Ziggler. So Rollins fell, and then Ziggler essentially fell on Rollins for the pin to retain.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like they're beating Rollins too much, and just earlier this summer, it felt like he was at that level, that main event level, where he could be the guy on Raw, and it kind of killed him with the booking since then.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, I would have liked to have seen them win. I know I said this before. I'd like to see one faction have all the titles. I think it would be interesting going into the Super Show, even if it's a nothing stip on that 6-man tag. But yeah, the status quo remained on that front tonight. But him coming out with the IC belt, I mean, where has that been lately? The IC title since that match with when did he defend it? He defended it like a month ago, right after SummerSlam, didn't he?
Did he?
Did he have a match? He had a match with Finn a while back. I remember that. And then Roman had a match with Finn.
Yeah, Roman had the match with Finn after SummerSlam. I thought Seth with Finn was before SummerSlam.
Maybe. But yeah, the IC title, since Seth has had it, has felt very irrelevant.
Well, you got too many titles clumped up in this Shield versus, what are they calling them now? The Pack?
The Pack.
Okay, I think it's too similar to the Hounds of Justice, with the dogs and everything. But anyway, yeah, you got the Universal title wrapped up in this feud and the Intercontinental title. Like, I like what they did the night after SummerSlam, where Roman defended against Finn and was starting to make the belt special again, and now the belt's an afterthought.
Yeah. So, like we talked about before, man, get that on Elias.
Oh yeah, Seth defended against Kevin Owens.
That's right. Yeah, that was the match.
Owens quit.
Yeah. Speaking of slightly less relevant titles, WWE Championship, the title match, once again, in the middle of the show, Samoa Joe versus AJ Styles. Will this ever close a pay-per-view again? Maybe when Roman moves over to SmackDown?
Wait,
or when the title moves to Raw?
What? The WWE Championship?
Yeah.
Yeah, it hasn't. I mean, it's like they do it on purpose. They want to remind you that it's not as important as the Universal title. And, I mean, there was that one pay-per-view earlier this summer where they finished with the Intercontinental title over the WWE Championship match. So I don't get why they do it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like they go out of their way to make it, to remind you that's the B title right now.
Yeah. This was a cool match. I loved that ending, though. I loved the cool. AJ tapping when Samoa Joe got the 3 count for the pin.
Yeah, I actually thought this match was kind of slow for a while. It took a while to get going. And then that's how they work a lot of their matches. You kind of have the slow start and then the hot ending. And then once it really got going, I thought this match was great. Yeah. I love the finish. I thought it's really creative. So AJ actually tapped before the ref counted 3. And so I thought that was unique. It's weird to have the babyface tapping, but it keeps the feud going. And yeah, I don't know. I didn't like the Samoa Joe story time stuff. I thought that was corny.
How did you not like that?
Oh my gosh, that was so cheesy. If someone's like a badass, they should not be telling nursery rhymes and doing, and that corny, spooky music they had. They didn't have the music tonight, but yeah, on SmackDown way they had it was so just corny.
I just want him at AJ's house wearing a smoking jacket. I think
that would be cool.
Having Wendy serve him dinner. I think that's where this feud needs to go.
If it was the Attitude Era, they probably would have done that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No, this was a good match. This whole thing, it was good. It was just a very long pay-per-view. You might actually be 43 now, Raj. That's how long this pay-per-view was.
It was long. I'm feeling it. I think people could tell I sound a little tired. But
yeah, and I was into it the whole time. It was good. Yeah, it was just something else. Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella versus The Miz and Maurice. This was a competitive match that went on for a while. Like, this could have been the one, this and Ronda, you could have maybe condensed those a little bit.
Yeah, you could have cut some time out of this one. It's weird ending. It's weird that Daniel Bryan keeps, his team lost again. He lost at SummerSlam. Miz usually gets the better of him. At least up until SummerSlam, Miz was always getting the better of him. So they've just deflated Daniel Bryan a lot. He does not feel near as special as he did, 6 months ago. Not even close. He's kind of an afterthought. I think he needs to move away from this feud with The Miz. It's bringing him down.
Or he needs to win the next one. But when's that going to be? Survivor Series, Australia?
Oh no, they got the one-on-one at Australia.
That is the problem with Australia so close to this. Is it feels like the endings.
It's actually not that. It's the same distance as a lot of other pay-per-views have been because it's still 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is. I get what you're saying because it is weird that they've announced a lot of matches that were on this show. Yeah, like Daniel Bryan versus The Miz, and you kind of had a variation of that tonight. AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe, so you knew that's going to keep continuing. So yeah,
I feel like they got to change them all up, add some sort of stip, do something, because if it's going to be another lengthy match like tonight with each of them, and we just saw it.
How are they gonna make it different? It sounded like they're going to do some stip because Paige said, when they made the rematch for Super Showdown, Paige did say something to the effect of there must be a winner or something like that.
Okay. That makes sense. The Miz and Maurice won this with Maurice pinning Brie for the win. Oh, man. I thought the Miz and Maurice looked great. I thought Daniel and Brie looked great. But yeah, just something about this.
Yeah.
it's a diversion. I mean, what I really want to see, I don't know about you, I just want to see more of the heat between Daniel Bryan and The Miz. I want more promos, more one-on-one stuff, more smack talking. I think involving their wives in it changes the dynamic.
Waters it down
a little bit, yeah. Because I mean, I don't know. What beef does the Maurice what beef does Maurice legitimately have with Brie? They're not. I don't feel like they're telling that. At least with Nikki and Maurice, they did that better in the Cena feud.
Yeah, it's just kind of there. I mean, and Maurice and Brie didn't do much in this match. They were mostly on the sidelines, until the finish. But I thought it was fine for what it was. I think it's hurting Daniel Bryan, this whole thing, and Nakamura's not doing anything. I think it's a natural feud with Nakamura and Daniel Bryan. I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah, curious what the story is going to be of that.
So the Miz and Daniel Bryan at Super Showdown. The winner of that is the top #1 contender. So yeah, so that's something.
I mean, probably the Miz though, right? And then maybe they get the belt on the Miz, and then Mania.
No, what do we got? So Super Showdown's beginning of October, and then Survivor Series is not until mid-November. So you got TLC. Like 6 weeks.
Yeah.
TLC is December.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's the Super Showdown is basically the October pay-per-view that men will be working. Because then you got Evolution. So it's probably going to be a title shot on TV. So they could do Daniel Bryan AJ. I think that'd be great, but yeah, I just don't think they could have the Miz win again.
Yeah. They got to change it up somehow. Alexa Bliss versus Ronda Rousey. Alexa came out with Mickie James and Alicia Fox.
Hey, real quick, let's run through that.
Yeah.
So Samoa Joe locked in the Coquina Clutch. AJ Styles.
Right back to that. Yeah.
What's that? Oh, geez. Yeah. And Daniel Bryan.
That.
So quick. Samoa Joe had him in the Coquina Clutch. AJ Styles kicked off, rolled him up. But the Coquina Clutch was still on. So as the ref was counting 3, right when he was at like 1 or 2, AJ started tapping. Yeah. And then Daniel Bryan and Maurice, Daniel Bryan and Brie against Maurice and
Miz got knocked out of the ring. Brie tried to take advantage with a roll up on Maurice, but Maurice turned that around and pinned Brie for the win.
Yep. So it was a pretty clean win.
Yeah. Alexa versus Ronda. If Ronda was going to win, and Ronda did win, why did this match go on for so damn long?
This match sucked. I mean, I don't get why Rousey, I think, has been looking great in these shorter matches or where it's more choreographed, because she hasn't been doing this long. Why would you have her go this long with Alexa Bliss, who no one believes Alexa has a chance? She's not credible against Rousey. So what was the point of having this match go that long?
No reason whatsoever. They should have just kept Ronda looking as strong as possible. And we talked about this last week. If you're going to book her like a female Brock Lesnar, Lesnar wasn't having these competitive of matches with people, 3/4 his size. And I love Alexa. I thought Alexa on the pre-show. Did you catch her on the pre-show with that David Otunga bit when Otunga asked the question?
I heard about it. I missed it though.
Otunga asked a question and she just walked away out of the frame. Like, Alexa, I think, is in the running for best heel of 2018, period, male or female. They just got to get her in a feud where she's credible, because with Ronda, I didn't see it tonight.
No. This was no good. Hopefully that's the end of it for now. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's got to be. They're going to move on to Ronda and Nikki Bella. So if you thought this match was bad.
Nikki's not... I don't know. It's not the best.
She's not the best. I mean, she could have a good match, but I think her and Ronda just sounds like it. I mean, hopefully they really rehearse it and get it down beforehand.
Yeah, because they're going to make that match as competitive as what we saw tonight. They're not going to let Ronda squash Nikki.
Right.
But I think Ronda could use a series of squashes.
I think so too. I think, give Alexa maybe 30 seconds of offense, a little bit, and then Ronda, destroys her. That's
why I thought maybe tonight Nia would come back, maybe, and somehow she's on Alexa's side. Like, if they wanted to make it a little more competitive, stack the odds against Ronda. I don't know. The way they're booking her is not. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, Nia was backstage.
Yeah, just something. Not that it would make sense for Nia and Alexa to be hanging again, but still something. So Ronda won with the armbar. Bliss tapped out quickly.
Is it just me, or does Ronda sound like kind of like an asshole when she's doing all her smack talk in the ring?
It's not great.
She sounds like a heel, like a bully. Like it's not fitting like a baby face to be, you know.
And it sounds too. What was the thing tonight? She tried to say, she tried to say, who needs enemies when you've got friends like this?
Oh yeah.
Stumbled over her words.
Yeah. I just think the smack talk isn't working for her. I know they teach that in the, in NXT. When you're in the ring, talk smack, but it doesn't work for her. I think it's annoying.
Yeah. Oh man. Hell in a Cell for the WWE Universal Championship. Braun Strowman versus Roman Reigns with Mick Foley as special guest referee. This was something. It went on for a while. It was very competitive. It was very athletic. It was very intense.
It's good.
Yeah, and then Dolph and Drew came out, followed by Seth and Dean. They got on top of the cell. Some fighting occurred there. Double clothesline spot between Drew and Dean. Seth and Dolph both knocked each other off the side of the cell onto the announcers' tables, so falling in tandem. It was a really long match. I thought it was very good, a good way to end the pay-per-view, except when Brock Lesnar came out, and I popped for that because we haven't seen Brock since SummerSlam. I was very excited about this. Amazing what being gone for a month can do. Came out with Paul Heyman, kicked the cell door down, went in there, took a piece of table, smacked it against Roman, smacked it against Braun, and then they just went off the air because neither man could get up right after Brock walked out.
Yeah, a draw in the Hell in a Cell match. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I thought it was cool when Brock came out. It was a good surprise. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means he signed a new deal or if he's just did another one match thing for the next Saudi Arabia event.
Probably.
It could be. I mean, because
triple threat. Yeah,
you would think he's facing DC. It could be a way to get more money from UFC. I don't know, but I mean, clearly he's back for at least one match. So, yeah, it was weird. I mean, it kind of killed the whole pay-per-view. I thought that finish, but, yeah, I mean, the fans were into Drew and Dolph and, those guys fighting on top of the cage. Then, Seth and Dolph crashed through a table. They were, working their way down and crashed through a table. I don't know what happened to Dean and Drew. They just kind of disappeared.
They're just up on top of the cage.
And during this whole time, this was like 5 minutes. And during that whole 5 minutes, Braun and Roman are just like dead in the ring. Like they're not doing anything. So it's always kind of odd. But anyway, it was a cool visual. Fans were actually chanting this was awesome during that.
Yeah, because it was. But if you're going to have something that choreographed, you need a payoff.
Well,
I think.
Well, they did the table crashing. I think that was the payoff.
I mean, I just hate these no finish matches.
Yeah. I meant for them brawling on top of the cage. The payoff was in. But yes. For this match to have nothing, no winner was weak as hell.
Even if it was Roman retaining, which I know that would have disappointed a lot of people because they want Braun, and this was his cash-in opportunity. This was Braun's chance.
Well, they definitely shouldn't have had Roman lose because he's clearly the face. They created this whole storyline. He should not be losing it this quick. And that's not to say that he shouldn't lose it to Braun and then win it back later. But tonight it's not right. It would make Roman look bad when he's the face of the company. But,
true, but I mean, look at Charlotte. Charlotte is the woman.
She's not the face of the company, though.
Well,
she's not headlining the house shows, and
true,
it's the top merch seller, and
that's still just because Braun has like one T-shirt and it's terrible.
He's got a few now, but
maybe two.
Yeah, but he's.
Would you buy a Get These Hands shirt, Raj? Would you wear a Get These Hands shirt?
There's not many wrestling shirts I'd wear right now. Bullet Club is cool. They got a cool shirt. Some of the Jericho stuff, but even that, I don't think I'd wear it. I still wear my Macho Man shirt.
Well, it's retro. It's like if I had a Funkasaurus shirt, I'd wear it.
I wouldn't.
Keep trying to find one in 2XL, but all the ones on eBay are like medium.
Yeah.
One day, dare to dream.
Problems.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, people are pointing out another failed cash-in, 2 years in a row now for the men.
Yeah. Which is good. I don't think it should always be successful because it adds more unpredictability to it.
Yeah. Man, right up until the very end, I was feeling really good about this pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I mean, and this still probably was the best pay-per-view of the year.
No.
What was the last? Okay, what was the last?
SummerSlam was, I thought, better than this.
Really? No,
you're talking about just WWE. You're not including NXT and everything, right?
Yes. Just WWE. I thought SummerSlam was okay.
I thought SummerSlam was really good.
I thought everything. I mean, Ronda and Alexa was the worst thing tonight. And that wasn't even bad. It was just the worst thing tonight that we saw.
I thought it was bad, but it wasn't horrible. But it was definitely the worst thing tonight. But yeah, it was a good show up until that point.
Yeah. And the ending, with a long match. That's the caveat we've talked about before. If your match goes over 15 minutes, I better know who won the damn match. None of it, because Raj, it's like having one of our great arguments, and it's agree to disagree. It's like, what the hell? Like, why invest the time? Why even try and convince somebody of something else if you're just going to walk away being like, no, we have our same opinions. No one made, we made valid points.
Because if it is something like you like green and I like blue, well, that's not going to change. So then at that point, you will have to agree to disagree.
But we could say, what about aquamarine?
No,
aquamarine is bullshit.
Green or blue.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Aquamarine is bullshit. Teal is completely unnecessary. Nothing should ever be teal.
Yeah.
Oh man, there's so many more pay-per-views coming up, so much more programming coming up.
I just think you're going to do a cop-out like this, cop-out ending. Do it earlier in the show. Don't have it be the last thing on the show.
But see, the difference though is that Joe and AJ, that was a clever way to do it, and I thought
it wasn't a cop-out. There was a winner.
Yeah,
and it still builds to something else. There was a finish. The crowd didn't feel ripped off after it, so. People pay a lot of money for these, for these events to go. And it's one thing on the network. If you paid $60 on pay-per-view for this, I'd be pissed. And I remember WCW back in the day, they would have those pay-per-views where it would just end in a DQ and, the NWO attacking the Giant or something like that.
Should have just ended with like Bischoff lighting a cigar with $100 bill, cackling madly as they went off the air. You
know what? They did something similar to this. I think it was like 5 years ago. It was like Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton, and they had a match. And then it ended with the Big Show coming out and just knocking both of them out. That was it. No one won. So that's what it kind of reminded me of. So this was better than that,
and it wasn't bad. It was just very long.
Yeah.
And I think going into it, seeing that there were only 8 matches, including the pre-show, it was like, it's kind of an indication. Not one of those jam-packed variety shows. They really invested in everything tonight. But with Raw tomorrow night, look, we'll have a lot of answers. I will not be on the podcast tomorrow night, but Matt should be back. Justin LeBar.
Justin LeBar will be filling in.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this: I'm excited for Raw tomorrow night. I'm bummed that I'm not going to be able to watch it live because of other commitments. But I think that this was probably the best pay-per-view in recent memory to make me want to tune in. To make me want to tune into Monday Night Raw the next night.
Yeah.
So it was a good ending.
It was a good ending. Paul Heyman. Oh yeah, we should give the ending real quick. So they're fighting in the ring. Rollins and Ziggler crash their table. Then Lesnar's music hit. They make their way down to the cage. Then Mick Foley won't let him in. So Paul Heyman spray painted. Like
the NWO.
Right. Got that in my head.
Putting a Star of David on something. Yeah.
Yeah. He sprayed something in Foley's eyes, and then Lesnar just kicked the door in and then just kicked the crap out of both of them, and that was it.
Yeah. It was cool. It was a cool moment. Brock has a beard.
They're cool. He looked good. He looks the smallest I've ever seen him. But he looked good.
Yeah. I am looking forward to hearing what happens tomorrow night. I'll watch the highlights on delay. Other story we should talk about before we go off tonight. Matt Hardy retired officially this weekend.
Yeah, that's what. I guess it's not really official until WWE fully announces it, or if they will announce it. I mean, most of the wrestlers when they do retire, they don't. So yeah, he was at last night's WWE live event, Corpus Christi, and he said it was his final in-ring appearance, and that it's now time to go home. So he'd been working the last couple of weeks, which was odd because he's been in bad shape. But yeah, he was saying he was just fulfilling his dates, and now he's done, and that's it. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, at first when I saw it, I was like, I don't know, he's going awfully strong with this. Almost seems like an angle, but I don't think it is. So,
yeah,
man, I've been watching the Hardys forever, so it's kind of weird. They've influenced a lot of wrestlers.
And he said, use the phrase "going home." So, but he does have a backstage position with the WWE. Has that been confirmed?
I don't think he's officially taken a backstage role, but I think he's been learning it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Man, he could probably start the hottest wrestling school in the world, or the hottest indie fed right now on his compound.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, if he did stuff that was all like the Ultimate Deletion, all shot himself.
Do you want all those wrestling fans coming to your house though for each taping?
No, you just film everything. You probably could. He could probably make a ton of money doing that. I don't know. I think it would be cool. And he could probably sell the company for a ton of money after a year or two.
Yeah, I just think the WWE schedule is just not the right thing for both him and Jeff with, how long they've been in the business and all the bumps they've taken, all the injuries they've had.
Yeah, Jeff's earlobes only have 2 more matches.
Yeah, those are pretty grotesque. So I just think TNA would have been such the right move, but then all that crap happened at the same time with it being sold to Anthem and Jeff Jarrett coming in and Dixie out and Billy Corgan out and all that drama that kind of, because they said at that time that they wanted to stay with TNA and that they never sent them their contracts, and by the time they did, it was too late.
Yeah, why does he call it Billy Corgan? Get in on what he's doing.
The NWA. I mean, I don't think that would require wrestling again. I don't think he wants to wrestle anymore. He's got to,
Yeah. It's a weird time right now, man. WWE doing better than ever. All this stuff going on, all these shows, all these
financially, yeah.
Financially. Do you ever feel like creatively we recognize at the time, man, creatively WWE is doing better? As I said, that was SmackDown right after the brand split. Yes, that was the time where it was man, WWE creative is really on fire right now for SmackDown.
I wouldn't say on fire. There is better. I'm trying to think of the last time where I was man, they've been consistently really good with their storylines and paying them off and building it properly and then paying it off, perfectly. And it's been a long time since they've been at that level. I mean,
SmackDown right now is.
I'm talking about Jericho, Shawn Michaels. That's how long
I
feel like it's been since you've had really good feuds.
Speaking of which, what are these headlines I'm seeing about plans for HBK doing more than just reffing in Australia?
Yeah, that's what it's sounding like. That not in Australia. I think Australia either he's going to be there. So I don't know. That's what I was saying last week. I think I almost think Triple H beats Taker and Shawn Michaels interferes. And then they lead to a tag match with Shawn and Triple H against Undertaker and somebody else. I don't know if Kane can anymore, and plus he was injured, so I don't know where that's at. But
yeah, I was gonna say, it's medicine just advanced so much that now we could bring these guys out of retirement and keep them going for a while.
Well, Saudi Arabia, so that's where it would likely be, and they make more in that one day off that one event than they do a lot more from that than WrestleMania.
Oh, I'm sure Ric Flair heard about Saudi Arabia money, and he's like, I could probably take a couple bumps if you want to put me in something.
I'm sure, yeah. So I'm sure Shawn would be getting paid a ton of money to come out for that event, and they could afford it because they make a ton for that.
Yeah. Did we ever find out exactly how much?
It was 40 to 50 million.
Wow.
Is kind of what it was from the financial reports. And I think WrestleMania is what, Hold on, let me check that one quick. You know, one thing I found out is how much the local enhancement talent makes.
Oh, did you find out? How much is that?
Yeah, so they make 200 for the appearance, and if they do anything physical, it's another 200.
That's it? Wow.
Yeah. So at most 400 if they.
If you were an aspiring wrestler, would you get in the ring with Braun Strowman for $400?
Yeah, why not? I mean, you get TV time.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, I'm trying to think about how much WrestleMania brings in. I mean, they always talk about the economic impact, which is different, but how much the event actually brings in itself.
Well, gross wise, I thought WrestleMania was largely a wash financially for the WWE, whereas Saudi Arabia, I would assume, is probably 99% profit.
Oh no, they make a ton of money for WrestleMania.
In profit?
Yeah. Yeah, they make a lot of profit for it. Anyway, I'll look that up. But Saudi Arabia, they make a lot more. So yeah, bringing Shawn back to wrestle, if it costs them like $1 million, or for one match, why not?
Absolutely. Yeah, for that, whatever, man. I'm sure they could get anyone for that man. Maybe CM Punk in a year or two.
I don't know about that one.
Probably not $1 million, but millions maybe. I
think CM Punk, he's a different type of cat. He's pretty headstrong.
Yeah, it's true. Okay, well, I think we should take it home, wrap things up. What's coming up on the site? Anything to plug before we sign off here?
The first part of that Eli Drake interview we've been talking about will actually go up tomorrow, so check that out.
Awesome. I'm Glenn Rubenstein. You can follow me on Twitter at Glenn Rubenstein. I'll see everyone back here Wednesday with Justin LaBar, but tune in tomorrow night for special Monday Night Raw coverage with Matt Morgan, Raj Giri, and Justin LaBar. Till next time, folks, we'll catch you back here on the Wrestling Inc. podcast. Take care.